So, keeping this video brief, this is the polycrop now. It didn't have the beds in before, I do believe, and we've been working on that. We've been fixing them all together, so they're all bolted together, these beds, to keep them nice and sturdy. These are the deeper beds on this side because the ground drops slightly on this side. And then we have the slightly shallower beds, but they get a lot more sun during the midday. So tomatoes and some climbing French beans and a climbing courgette will do just fine on this side. Got a chili pepper bed with a couple of sweet peppers in there. We've got a couple of citrus. This is a calamondin, a kumquat, and then we've got a lovely lemon. We've got another lemon in the corner. He was a house lemon, we called him Keith Lemon. And then we've got a grape here. These two trees will be going outside. These are a dwarf variety. I believe one's Elstar and the other one's Opal. Yep, Elstar and Opal. And these are purchased from Lidl for £10 each. The compost we've used in here, which is lovely and dark, is an organic compost. And that is the make, 4 Seasons. And it's excellent stuff. We bought 60 bags for £300 and that was delivered. Got some lovely sonettis out the front. So this is a lovely sonetti and an osteospermum. And we also have some geraniums. We've also been working on this area, so we now have all of the grapes that used to be on the old polytunnel planted along here, and this will then climb over and cover this structure, so we'll have a lovely bit of shade. And then we've got a courgette down there. We have our first crop of beetroots that have gone in next to some pink fir apples, which is a heritage and heirloom potato. We have some more potatoes down here. Those are roosters and kestrels. We have a thornless blackberry. Over there, you can just about see the leaf is a rhubarb. So it's really coming along. We've got a long way to go still. I don't think we'll ever really be done, but it's gardening and it's a way of life for us. But yeah, we're really chuffed with how this polycrop worked out. You know, there are a few leaks, but it doesn't really matter because it's leaking onto the beds, and by the time it dries out, I mean, there's only a tiny bit of structural wood. It doesn't really sit on the wood anyway, so we're not too concerned. But just to give you an idea, the polycrop, it was designed by a really fantastic company in the Shetland Isles who had to contend with gale force winds when there are storms. And of course the traditional polytunnel that we're used to seeing, either the sort of the green wrapped thing or the white plastic wrapped frames, have proven time and again, and they're not quite up to scratch when it comes to very strong winds or bad storms. As much as we would have loved to have supported the business up in the Shetland Isles and bought the kit from them, we couldn't justify it at the time. So we just utilised their framework and just built this from scratch for ourselves. You know, we're not going to be trademarking or selling this. It's just literally what we've been inspired to do from that design, because we lost our last polytunnel to the storm. It just completely was wrecked. So it's polycarbonate sheets. We've got aquaculture pipes that are buried 20 centimetres into the ground. There is a bit of postcrete on this side at the bottom, and then we've got the wood rafters and the polycarbonate sheets. In total it cost us £550 to build, and that's including all the wood and the door. So money well spent, I think. It gets lovely and hot in there, and we've had some excellent germination. So we've got some lovely flowers coming on there. We've got some beautiful calabrese. Kate's been planting some runner beans, and as you can see, they're germinating really well. We've got a cucumber, some courgettes. We've got some lettuces coming. We've got some more cucumbers, a different type. And then we've got pak choys. I believe these are cabbages or sprouts. I think they're sprouts. And then we've got some runner beans that are going to go outside. And they're one of my favourite runner beans. These are the Belotti beans. and aren't they just beautiful? I have got some dried at home to use as well, so I do store quite a few of the seeds, but we're trying to go for heirloom varieties as best as we can. I mean, there are some that aren't here, of course, but we have got a couple that you can harvest the seeds and they're fully fertile and can be planted next year, because we want to go self-sustainable, and part of that is going to be trying not to rely so much on buying seeds. So that's where we're at. This is a polycrub. I think it's great. Kate's really pleased with it. It's working well for us, and we'll keep showcasing how things grow in here and how well they do. And that is a very early crane fly. I'm going to let you out if I can. Nope, can't quite catch it. Kate's terrified of the things, but completely harmless. Anyway, I'm going to go home and chill down the milk and have some late breakfast, but thank you for following us. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you need to do just to keep us on the map. And if you've got anything that you'd like to talk about, discuss, or just to be involved, do let us know. Next week we're going to be starting a project with a lovely friend of ours, David Millwood, which will be to build the final building project realistically, which is to build our raised platform for our bell tent, because we intend to camp here, pretty much live here, home from home, during the warmer months. So let's get this going, and that will be on Wednesday. So we've got a delivery of wood coming and we'll start on that project. But anyway, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you very much for supporting us and following us, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.